As a business owner, you want to stop working in absolutes because that's really all based in fear. So you're trying to put things in a box and you're trying to create safety. So what I want to share with you is how to overcome that. And the only way to actually overcome that is to realize that there is no actual security. So when you look at where you are today and say there's like this amazing role model of yours that you see in the future, I want you to know the only thing that separates you from them is the skills, traits, and beliefs that they've developed. Okay, so that's the bridge, right? So you need to develop these skills, traits, and beliefs to get to that point. But what I want to share with you is you're thinking, when I get to that point, I will be safe. When I get to there, I will have ... And it doesn't actually work that way. That's what we think happens. But what really happens is you just become this person that can handle all the things, and you realize the only security you have is you. I say this all the time, and I'll repeat it again. The weights do not get lighter in the gym, you just get stronger. So think about your journey 5 years in the gym. If you could bench, say, 135 pounds, and then you could bench 315 later on, a person walking into the gym trying to bench 315, they would probably crush themselves. But you took 5 years to build that type of strength. So when you look at this, I want you to see that you're actually just building this individual that's so confident and so secure that they're not so worried about what it's gonna look like later on, because they built themselves into that person that they need to be to become that. And so there is no real destination to this. And this is where we get confused as entrepreneurs, that we don't realize that the security we're looking for, the box we're trying to put everything in, is ourselves. Like, you hear people like Grant Cardone say it, like, you could take away all my money and in a year I'd be wealthy again. And you know, you hear the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And the reason for this is the way they think. Number one is their beliefs, right? They believe something completely different than the average human being. Something that might even seem ridiculous. Like, how could you possibly think that? You're crazy. I encourage you to be crazy, to be bold, right? Then you think about the traits. They've developed the traits or overcome the traits that were not necessarily serving them, right? So if they had a trait that wasn't serving them, like their incapacity to be charismatic and be, you know, extroverted, maybe they had to overcome that, right? Or maybe they had to develop the trait of charisma. So I want you to think about the traits you have in your life and think about, you know, what do I need to actually overcome and which ones do I need to add? And then skills. And skills are actually, in my opinion, the easiest, because you just have to go out and learn something. And I think about this all the time. It's like, if somebody else can do it and they're teaching it, you can do it too. Like, it's not that hard. You just have to learn those things. And then when you do all of that, you have this product, right? Now, here's the funny part though. As you go through this process, let's just call it a 5-10 year process, and it's forever, but let's just call it that. During that time, you're gonna get all these bumps, you know, bruises and scrapes and knocks and bangs, and you're also going to develop this inner resilience. So not only are you changing your mindset, you're having different traits, you're showing up with a different set of skills, but you're developing this grit, this internal piece that says, you know what, I can keep going, I'm going to do this. And you start to develop this tangible evidence over time. So think about that. When the security you're looking for actually can only come from within, and it can only come from developing you into the person you actually want to be. Because if we don't do that, and we start looking outside of ourselves, or think it's going to be okay one day when, or it will change when I get to this destination, that's not the truth. And I think what will happen is the weight of the responsibility of what it takes to be the successful individual that you want, you probably can't handle that in this exact moment. You probably have to develop all of this grit, skills, traits, beliefs to get there. And once you get there, then you can handle all that pressure. So you just keep getting more pressure, and it doesn't even feel like pressure, because you realize that this is just part of the job, right? Like, this is it. Like, the gym seems so difficult sometimes when you go there, whether it's on the treadmill or it's actually lifting weights. But over time, you realize this is just the work. This is just what it is. And you just embrace it. Like they say in the military, like, embrace the suck. Like, this is what it is. It is not something else. So I just want you to know that turning yourself into that individual is what creates the security.